Hello from the other side, CJ here. Samsung's Galaxy A series has always lived in an interesting space. They've never been about topping specs. Instead, Samsung leans on a familiar experience, polished software, and a camera that just works for most people. But with competitors getting more aggressive in 2026, the question isn't whether the Galaxy A27 5G is good. It's whether that Samsung experience is enough to stand out against phones offering bigger batteries, faster charging, and more premium extras at similar prices. So, let's find out in this review if this phone still holds up. Design-wise, the Galaxy A27 5G feels unmistakably Samsung. The phone uses Gorilla Glass Victus Plus on both the front and rear panels, sandwiching a plastic frame in between. Despite the plastic middle, the glass construction helps the phone feel more premium than many competitors in the segment. Samsung went with a glossy mirror-like finish for the rear panel. While it certainly catches light nicely, it also catches fingerprints just as enthusiastically. Within minutes of handling the phone, the back quickly becomes a museum exhibit of every finger that has touched it. Unfortunately, Samsung does not include a case in the box, so keeping the phone looking pristine might mean getting an accessory almost immediately. The flat frame design still makes the phone feel modern and comfortable to hold, though the camera island does introduce a bit of wobble when it's placed on a table. The button layout is familiar. On the right, you get the volume rocker and side-mounted fingerprint scanner that doubles as the power button. The bottom of the phone houses the USB-C port, the main microphone, and the downward-firing mono speaker. One notable compromise, though, is durability. The Galaxy A27 5G only carries an IP64 rating, meaning it can handle dust, dirt, and the occasional splash. But submersion is a no-go. Considering older devices like the Galaxy A26 offered IP67 protection, this feels like a step backward than an actual upgrade. Up front sits a 6.7-inch FHD Plus Super AMOLED display with a 120Hz refresh rate. Thankfully, Samsung has finally moved away from the dated teardrop notch design, giving the front of the phone a much cleaner and more modern appearance. As expected from Samsung, colors look vivid and punchy without becoming unpleasantly oversaturated. Thanks to the 120Hz refresh rate, scrolling through social media feels smooth, and animations throughout One UI remain fluid. However, the bezels are on the thicker side, making the front look a little less premium. That said, it's not really a major distraction during everyday use. Brightness is generally good, though under direct sunlight, you may find yourself maxing out the slider more often than expected just to keep things visible. Audio, on the other hand, is less impressive. Samsung only includes a single downward-firing speaker here instead of a stereo setup. The result? Its audio comes off somewhat muddy and lacking in depth. Vocals stay clear enough for YouTube videos and TikToks, but there isn't much bass or separation to speak of. The lack of stereo speakers become even more noticeable, considering how common they've become at this price range. There's also no headphone jack to fall back on, so you're stuck relying on Bluetooth or the USB-C port if you want a better listening experience. For biometrics, Samsung includes a side-mounted fingerprint scanner alongside face unlock support. I found the fingerprint sensor reliable enough, but it does feel like a bit of a downgrade compared to the under-display solutions many competitors offer at this price point. Okay, so hear me out. The Galaxy A27 5G isn't a bad camera phone. It just needs having ideal conditions to work with. Give it plenty of daylight and the main camera can actually produce some surprisingly attractive shots. Photos come out bright and sharp, skies look lively, and outdoor details like trees and grass look vibrant without becoming unrealistic. Autofocus locks onto subjects quickly, and portraits benefit from pleasant skin tones and natural saturation. I even found some stylized shots looking genuinely cinematic at first glance, with the sensor doing a surprisingly good job capturing bright light sources and dramatic contrast. Unfortunately, that illusion starts to fall apart once the lighting becomes less cooperative. Dynamic range is fairly limited, and cloudy skies can quickly turn into blown-out white patches with barely any detail left. Portrait mode also struggles heavily with edge detection, often blurring hair, clothing, and background elements inconsistently. Digital zoom is probably the weakest part of the whole camera experience. Once you move past the main sensor's native field of view, the processing gets extremely aggressive, leaning on sharpening algorithms that just turn distant details into blocky artifacts. The selfie camera mirrors many of these strengths and weaknesses. In bright outdoor lighting, selfies look sharp, clean, and social media ready. Facial features stay natural, skin tones look pleasant, and Samsung's beauty processing thankfully avoids turning faces into plastic mannequins. Indoor lighting is more of a mixed bag. The camera leans into warm ambient lighting to create a cozy aesthetic, but aggressive noise reduction can soften details significantly. For video, the Galaxy A27 5G tops off at FHD 60fps. That said, I found the sharpness a bit underwhelming even at this resolution. I also noticed that transitioning between zoom levels, say jumping from 1 times to 0.6 times, or straight to 2 times, causes the clip and its audio to briefly cut during the switch, which isn't the smoothest experience. On the plus side though, video stabilization holds up well enough, keeping footage steady throughout. This is a sample video of the Samsung Galaxy A27 5G using its rear camera, shooting at full HD at 30 frames per second. So here's what it is. Ooh. One more time. Okay. Here are your colors and details. So yeah, what do you guys think? Let us know in the comments below. Under the hood, the Galaxy A27 5G is not trying to be a gaming powerhouse. Instead, it offers on delivering a smooth and dependable experience for things most people actually do on their phones. Looking at our benchmark results, the Galaxy A27 5G proves that it has enough horsepower for everyday use, from browsing and multitasking to running the most popular mobile games. In day-to-day use, the phone feels fast. Apps launch quickly, multitasking is smooth, and navigating One UI never feels sluggish. Game performance is surprisingly capable as well. Pokemon Unite runs comfortably even at its highest available settings, while Call of Duty Mobile performs well at its recommended graphics preset without major issues. Wuthering Waves, though, tells a different story. The game is certainly playable at recommended settings, but heat build-up becomes noticeable at around 20 to 30 minutes of gameplay, particularly around the upper portion of the phone near the camera island. Attempting to screen record gameplay while playing Wuthering Waves pushes the hardware beyond its limits, with the phone struggling to maintain acceptable frame rates even at the lowest graphical settings. Nonetheless, for casual and moderately demanding games, I'd say the Galaxy A27 remains more than capable. On the software side, the Galaxy A27 runs Android 16 with Samsung's One UI 8.5 on top, bringing the familiar Galaxy experience that many users are already comfortable with. One thing I appreciate here is that Samsung keeps the software experience relatively clean. There are little to no unnecessary pre-installed apps, and I did not encounter intrusive ads when using the phone. This makes the Galaxy A27 feel more polished compared to some competitors that can overwhelm users with some bloat and ads out of the box. Sometimes having less is genuinely more. The interface feels clean and easy to navigate with Samsung's usual customization options, useful tools, and ecosystem features built in. It also comes with the usual AI-powered features you would expect from newer Galaxy devices, including tools that help with editing photos, improving productivity, and making everyday tasks more convenient. For connectivity, the Galaxy A27 comes with the essentials: It supports dual nano SIM with 5G connectivity and comes with Wi-Fi 5, Bluetooth 5.1, and NFC for convenient wireless payments. As for battery life, it's equipped with a 5000 mAh battery, and in real-world use, it can comfortably last through a full day with basic tasks like browsing social media, watching videos, taking photos, and messaging. In our PC battery test, it delivered a result of 12 hours and 8 minutes. One thing worth noting is that Samsung keeps the charging setup relatively conservative here. The phone supports 25 watts fast charging through USB-C, which is enough to top up the battery, but it is slower compared to some competitors that offer significantly faster charging speeds. There's also no charger included in the box, which is honestly a bit of a bummer, so you'll need to have a compatible adapter on hand if you don't already own one. For heavier users, especially those who game a lot or record videos frequently, you might still find yourself reaching for the charger before the day's over. But for typical users who just need a reliable phone for daily tasks, the battery life should be more than enough to get you through. The Samsung Galaxy A27 5G feels like a phone designed for the average consumer rather than spec sheet enthusiasts. It doesn't chase benchmark records. It does not try to win a battle of numbers against brands offering larger batteries, faster charging, or more RAM. Instead, what you get is a dependable daily driver. A good display, polished software, solid everyday performance, expandable storage, and cameras that perform well enough given the right conditions. Pricing-wise, it starts at an SRP of 18,990 pesos, while the bigger model comes in at 21,990 pesos. That said, the ongoing Ramageddon happening across the entire smartphone market, where even budget and mid-range phones now packing 8GB, 12GB or more, just to keep up, does make the 6GB variant feel a little less future-proof compared to some alternatives. So whether that premium over similarly spec competitors is worth it really comes down to how much you place One UI, Samsung's ecosystem, and the familiarity of the brand itself. Still, for casual consumers who simply want a Samsung phone that works, feels familiar, and handles everyday tasks without any hiccups, the Galaxy A27 remains a perfectly reasonable choice. It may not dominate the mid-range battlefield, but it doesn't need to. Sometimes, consistency is enough. So, what do you think of the Samsung Galaxy A27 5G? Will you get it anytime soon? Let us know in the comment section below. If you find this video helpful, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and follow us on our socials for more tech news and reviews. Once again, this has been CJ, and I'll see you guys in the next review. Bye! See you later!